Goddamn, I am. With your hands that feel like I do. With a life that feel like I do. Hey, well it's September 11th, and this is the video prediction vid for the Sugar Shane Mosley, Sergio the Latino Snake, or the Latin Snake, Mora fight for September 18th. I don't think it's for a title. Probably should have looked at that earlier, but I didn't. Anyway, I'm going to break down both fighters, and then I'm going to give my prediction at the end of it. Alright, you ready for this? Alright, let's go, man. Okay, we'll start out with Sergio Mora. He's 22-1. No draws. 6 monstrous knockouts in his illustrious career. Oh, actually, he's had 1 draw. Yeah, he's had 24 fights. No power. When you hear that, you just know no power. He got whitewashed by Vernon Forrest, and before you say, well, so did Sugar Shane, well, Vernon Forrest was 31 when him and Shane fought, and the fight was a lot closer than when Forrest fought him at 37. Just throwing that out there. One time he was in his prime, the other time he wasn't. Anyway, he's slick, quick, but he's not fast. You know what I mean? I mean, his angles, stuff like that. He appears faster than what he is. He uses his angles well, but he does tend to lunge in there. He's willing to trade, which is not good for him because he doesn't have any power, man. And but he does seem to be a natural at 154. He hasn't fought great competition. The win over Forrest, I mean, Forrest said, yeah, if that's the best he's got, he's in trouble. And then the next time they fought him, Forrest just blasted him out of the water. Manfredo, I thought he lost in the rematch to Manfredo. That's just my opinion. He's not, as I said, he's only had 24 fights. He's been a professional fighter for 10 years. So he's not even fighting 3 times a year. And he's only had 24 fights. It's hard to get experience, actual ring war experience in over that time frame, and you can see that. I mean, although he's a warrior, he's willing to trade. He does it too much, though. He holds the left hand too low, and his D is just average. He has good head movement, but he backs straight up. And if you watch the Vernon Forrest fight, who I think Mosley's going to be a lot like in this fight, he really struggled with that. The experience factor really played it, and he looked confused in that fight. He didn't really know where he was or what was going on. He appears hard to time it, because of his rhythm and the way he does it, but I think if you watch a Vernon Forrest fight, you've learned how to time him, and that is just to throw punches and come straight forward. Now, he does work the body. He's an okay counter puncher, as I said earlier, with the good speed, but he shuts down when people start throwing on him. It's like he clams up, he quits throwing the punches, and he's just moving around. Now, as I said here, he lost to an aged Vernon Forrest. He looked hurt in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, and in the 7th he got knocked down at the bell. He was really really hurt in that. So when you start seeing that, and Vernon Forrest could bang, but I don't think he had as much power as Sugar Shane Mosley coming in there. When you think Sugar Shane Mosley, you think power. You think of all the knockouts that he's had. I'm not going to go into his record. I did it for the Mayweather fight. But the questions you got to ask, is Mosley done? But Mayweather makes everyone look bad when he fights him. I mean, is this going to be the Mosley that looked awesome for the first round and a half of that fight and great against Margarito, or is it going to be the Mosley we saw at the second half of that fight, or almost the entire fight against Mayweather and with the other fights? Is he done? Is this age finally caught up with him? Well, I think you've seen Mora's not Mayweather, okay? And Mosley fighting an inexperienced fighter like Mora is going to be able to exploit him and come at him, and he's going to see the Vernon Forrest fight and go, I can do that, and he's going to do it. He still has the power. He does struggle with boxers with speed, But Mora's not that. Mora doesn't have that speed that I'm talking about, that he's going to struggle with. He has a great chin. He's got good footwork and boxing skills. He has flashes of speed. When he throws his combos, they're devastating. He's really good at counterpunching. He goes to the body well. He is a natural 147, but he's won titles at 154. I think he's won titles at 154. He is 5'9". I mean, Margarito was 5'11", and they're saying Mora is about that size too, so I don't think that's going to be a problem at all for him. He's not as active as he used to be, but he can be Vernon Forrest active. And if you watch the first couple rounds of Mayweather fight, he looked pretty darn active until Mayweather figured him out. He was beat by prime Vernon Forrest. He was. And that was, the fight appears to be pretty tough to call on this. But, like I said, I don't just watch the fights you win, I watch the fights you lose. And I see what happened in them and what they did. And I did not like the way Mora responded when he was getting smacked around by Forrest. All his coolness and licking his glove and all that crap was gone. Whatever that is. It didn't do him too well in that fight. And I see that going that way too. But I think Mosley hits harder than Forrest does. And I think if Mosley catches him with the shots that he caught Mayweather with, he's going to knock him out. And that's what I'm going with. I think Mosley is going to knock him out by the 10th round. I think the cumulative punishment that Mora will take, eventually he will fold, and he will suffer his first loss by knockout at the hands of Mosley. And just watch the Margarito fight if you doubt me. Okay? So, that's my prediction. Best of luck to all of you. If you like these vids, comment, rate, subscribe. And we'll keep this going, alright? Hey, this is Bigragu. I'm out.